Good evening, race fans, and welcome to race number 3 of the Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series, live from Nashville Superspeedway out here tonight. 160 laps of action in front of us on this Tuesday night around this tough 1.33 mile and a third concrete oval, the largest concrete track in the States. 14 degrees of banking and a surface that's going to eat the tires alive. Going to be a whole lot of tire wear out here tonight. Going to be a whole lot of fuel gains out here tonight. Nashville always puts on a great show. We were just here a couple of weeks ago in the playoffs for our championship hunt last season, but tonight it holds the third race of the season for these drivers. 33 drivers strong out here tonight for tonight's race. Usually around this time of the night, I would be introducing my co-host out here tonight, Arie Heinzman, but Arie Heinzman actually on track out here tonight, so hopefully we get to talk to Arie a couple of times throughout the course of the race tonight. But we'll take a look at some of the race information as practice begins to wind down. Just under 5 minutes remaining out here in opening practice before we go to qualifying. 3 stages as usual. Stage 1 ends at lap number 38. Stage 2 concludes at lap number 70. And stage number 3, the black and white checkered flag, gonna fly at 160. Drivers do have 4 tire changes out here, 5 sets, and as always, they have 70% fuel and 3 attempts at an overtime finish if we do need it. Looking at the standings coming into tonight, Greg Mitchell leads after race 2 last week at Homestead, picking up the win down there in Miami, Florida. Greg Mitchell comes in over Andrew Caldwell, Gary Bowman, Brad Holmes, Philip Van Vliet, your current top 5 in the points. The top 10 shown all the way down to Leroy Koblenz. Top 10 will be making the playoffs in a couple of weeks once those do roll around. And then if you don't make it on points, you've always got the wild card. The wild card puts an emphasis on stage racing that we've never seen before here on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network. Drivers with the 2 most stage points outside of the playoffs will find their way in to our Scrambler Series beginning in a couple of months. But take a look at race information out here tonight. Next week, we're going to be at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, followed by New Hampshire, Sonoma, and then Chicagoland. So, got a lot of fun, difficult tracks coming up for these drivers in the Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series. We'll kind of click around. We'll take a look at some of the drivers that are currently out on track. Take a look at Arie Heinzman. Arie, fastest on the board so far through just about an hour of practice for that driver 28. I have a feeling we'll be talking to Arie at some point throughout the night. She's not going to get off that easy. Other drivers out on the board, Matt Semple in the number 16 Chevy Silverado, currently second on the board. Gary Bowman, tonight's race sponsor for the Nashville Hot Chicken Hustle, currently third. Cody Gibson makes his first appearance at 2025 Season 2. Greg Mitchell, your points leader, fifth fastest on the board, followed by Jaden Wicks, Andrew Caldwell, Corey Sherman, Eric Anderson, winner at Daytona, and Chris Mackey, currently your top 10. We got just about 2 minutes remaining out here in open practice. We're going to go ahead real quick. We're going to get the opening ceremonies underway here from Nashville. We'll be back for your full 5-minute qualifying. Back here with about 20 seconds remaining in practice, and we talked a little bit about it a couple of minutes ago, the difference between concrete and asphalt. The concrete track doesn't really change as much as an asphalt race does throughout the course of the race. The asphalt track typically will pick up a little bit more rubber. You could see a little bit of a groove there down there in turns 3 and 4 as the checker flag falls. But it's going to certainly eat up the tires, so track position going to be king here for these 33 drivers out here tonight. I was talking to a couple of drivers before we went over to qualifying, and they kind of all said the same thing. They said right front, right front, right front. That's what you got to protect. Out here tonight, heard tires down in the low 40s on the end of a run, but drivers starting to make their way out onto track right now. The board's starting to light up, looking busy. We're going to follow Matt Semple around in that number 16 Chevy Silverado. First appearance for Matt Semple this season. Take a look, see what Matt's able to do. Matt's got a long ways to go if he wants to make the playoffs. Missing the first 2 races of our season, but won a couple of races already. I think he won a race last season. I forget exactly where. It was probably Texas, but Matt Semple comes across the line to begin his first qualifying lap out here. And we're going to see Matt all the way down on that yellow line, as close as he can possibly get it. It's going to be interesting to see if Matt decides to run the same line down here in 3 and 4, and he does, or if he decided to run the higher line to try to gain the momentum on the exit of turn number 4. to begin a fast lap number 2, but Matt Semple going to be first one down tonight with a 30.21, currently fastest on the board. 5 drivers currently posted time: Chris Mackey, Jared Anderson, Chris Rose, Amanda Sherman, drivers who have currently posted time. Maybe a little bit of a slide there for the 16 on the way out of turn number 2. Gary Bowman, race sponsor, goes up to the top of the charts right now, following Semple around here. Still gets a run, uses up all the track on the exit of turn number 2. And across the line, lap number 2, done and away, going to be second fastest for Matt Semple, following Corey Sherman around. Corey finishing up lap number 2 for the Shermanator. Where does he fall? 6th place on the board. Trying to find drivers who maybe just beginning their laps. Andrew Caldwell coming out, working his first lap here. Very tight on the exit there for the 46. Driver out of Bradford, Ontario. Maybe working with a new wheel setup. Heard one of our other drivers, Dave Gainforth, possibly gave Andrew a wheel upgrade the past couple of days. But Andrew Caldwell, where is that going to stick Andrew? We're going to wait for it to slide around. Oh no, 4th on the board for Andrew. So good first lap for that 46 driver. One of the championship contenders last season. This is a driver that I don't think we've seen the full potential out of that 46 car yet. Certainly a driver that I expect to win a race or multiple races this season as he comes across, and he's going to go to the top of the board. Andrew Caldwell, driver 46. Other drivers continuing their qualifying effort here as we got just about a minute and a half remaining in qualifying. Brad Holmes, driver of the 0-0 Western Star Ford F-150. Currently 7th on the board after his first lap. Trying to improve up a little bit. Only needs just under a 1/10 of a second to go to the top of the board. For Brad Holmes, what is he able to do? Lap number 2. Done and away for the 0-0. Going to be good enough for 4th on the board. Lee Campbell, Steven Music finishing up their laps. Greg Mitchell, Andy Cork, and Arie Heinzman, the only drivers out here on track right now. We're going to follow along my my co-host out here. Well, I think Arie's got a mission out here tonight. If she were able to win tonight's race, would become the all-time wins leader in the Cyber Thunder Racing League, and that's a point of contention that I know that Arie was trying to get to last season. Was able to tie the wins record, but not hold it all to her own. So one-track mind out here tonight, and there's no points on the line for Arie. Just going for the gold out here tonight. 3rd on the board, first time by, lap number 2. Looks like Arie's going to hold it 3rd place on the board. Andy Cork, looks like Andy may be the last driver coming across to complete his 2nd lap, and looks like our 5-minute qualifying is just about done. In 3, 2, 1, we're going to see the checkered flag over the speedway here. Pole position out to Andrew Caldwell for tonight's event, and that's going to be a huge advantage for Andrew to start tonight's race. And we are going to check just a couple of things here real quick, make sure we are all set to go, and we'll get you your starting lineup. All right, starting lineup out here tonight. Had to check a couple of things before we got rolling. For 160 laps of racing out here tonight, pole award goes to Andrew Caldwell. 2nd place, outside front row, Gary Bowman, just 4 1/1000ths of a second off. 3rd place belongs to Arie Heinzman in row number 2. To her outside, you got Matt Semple, driver number 16. Brad Holmes rounds out the top 5 with Ed Yergin, Greg Mitchell, Chris Mackey, Jaden Wicks, and Cody Gibson on the top 10. Outside of the top 10, you got Jared Anderson, Corey Sherman, Lee Campbell starting 13th on the board, the driver out of Full Send Esports. Dwayne Young, Eric Anderson, Philip Van Vliet, Tanner Marr, Five Kings Motorsports. Driver that number 4 machine, Tanner Marr, looks to get his first win of the season out here tonight. Nathan Dufton in the number 47 Toyota Tundra. Going to be out here, going to be starting right next to Mike Stiverson and Chris Rose on the top 20. And on the outside of the top 20, looking in, we've got Leroy Koblenz, Brian Dorsey, Amanda Sherman, Larry Bell, Rick Thompson, Steven Music, Chris Letts, Dave Gainforth, Carter Lawson, Matthew Hamilton in the number 71, driver starting 30th on the board, Andy Cork, Theodore Todorov, and finally the only driver out here tonight electing not to take a qualifying lap, Mr. Fred Thompson himself, Speed Mafia in that 79 machine. We got a great race in front of us. I'm looking forward to getting this one going. So we are just about set to go. The drivers are dialing in. And we are about ready to go as the field of 33 cars lines up behind the iRacing.com pace car. Coming through turns 1 and 2 this time. Trying to find them. There we go. Oh, they're already in turn 3. All right, let's go. Andrew Caldwell, Gary Bowman down here, field of 33. Getting set to do some racing out here this evening. Pace car going to be down and away. They say we go racing here on a Tuesday night. One lap down, one lap already done and out of the way from tonight's event. Andrew Caldwell steps out to about a half truck length lead over Arie Heinzman. In second place, Arie up one spot, was able to take second place from outside pole sitter Gary Bowman on the initial start of the race. But Andrew Caldwell, Arie Heinzman, Gary Bowman, that's how they shake out the first couple of drivers. And we got about single file racing for about the top 10. And then there's a whole sorts of hornets nest. First driver for position, stepping out of line, Greg Mitchell, Brad Holmes, Cody Gibson, those drivers back there. We're going to take a look at this battle happening currently for about the 6th position here. Greg right up on the rear bumper of Brad Holmes, with Cody Gibson trying to take a look to the outside, almost 3 wide on the exit turn number 2 there, working only lap number 3. Greg's going to fall back in line. Jaden Wicks in the 0-2 slides down onto the inside line. Takes a look underneath the 55, 2 5s there for Greg Mitchell. Brad Holmes, Cody Gibson still on a great battle here for the 6th place position. Cody Gibson already up 4 positions from his qualifying effort out here tonight. So Cody Gibson already the biggest mover in tonight's race. Moving in the right direction, but got a battle for the race lead. Andrew Caldwell under fire from Arie Heinzman. And also a battle for 3rd place, Matt Semple, Gary Bowman. Got the 4 leaders underneath the blanket here. Going down into turn number 1, being led by driver 28, Arie Heinzman. Andrew Caldwell, Matt Semple now thinks about taking a look to the inside of the 46th Safe Light Toyota Tundra of Andrew Caldwell. Gonna think better of it down there in turn 1, but now down here in turn 3 may actually make the move for Matt Semple. Gary Bowman kind of plays a role here as to which line Gary wants to go with. See Matt Semple able to make the pass there on Andrew Caldwell. Gary Bowman now taking advantage and saying, hey, you know what, I'll come through here as well. As drivers continue to work lap number 6. We kind of were, I was talking to some drivers out here tonight. So our stages are lap number 38 and lap number 70. Fuel, not so much an issue on the initial first 2 stages, assuming it stays green. Drivers expecting to get anywhere between 42 to 45 laps on a fuel run out here tonight. So drivers expecting to make a full fuel run without the need to stop in the first 2 stages, at least under green. If we see a caution, that's going to change a whole lot of stuff there. But and then for stage number 3, it's going to be close. Talk to a couple of different teams, maybe some beards, if you know what I'm talking about. Maybe some drivers. Some of them said that they were thinking about trying to save on stage number 3. Stage number 3 going to be 90 laps, 42 to 45 laps on fuel. If they can go to the upper high side of that 42 to 45, they could potentially put themselves in a one-stop situation for stage number 3, but we got a long ways to go before we get there. Up front, Arie Heinzman leads over Matt Semple, Gary Bowman, Andrew Caldwell, Cody Gibson currently your top 5. But looking back here, we got a battle looking for last place for stage points right now. Taking a look, Lee Campbell and Lee Campbell putting a battle on Jaden Wicks in that 0-2 machine and trying to hold off the 17 of Chris Mackey. Lee's had a great start to his season. He's certainly had the speed in that 60 machine. One of the drivers that I don't really think we've seen the best out of Lee Campbell in his rookie campaign last season in 2025 season 1. But Lee Campbell certainly has the potential to play spoiler at some point throughout this season. But we got battles happening all over the track. We're looking at one of the closer battles on track right now between Lee and Jaden. Lee's trying to take a look down to the inside. You hear him playing with the throttle. Gets out of it just long enough to get the truck to sit and rotate in turns 1 and 2. In his glass up here, he sees Greg Mitchell though trying to battle. He sees Greg Mitchell trying to battle Brad Holmes. Still, these guys have been going at it since the word go of the event out here tonight. Greg Mitchell, Brad Holmes, having a great battle down here into turn 1. Nobody giving an inch when it comes to it. Brad's going to be able to get that big momentum run up on the outside lane. And there you see Greg doesn't elect to jump up onto the outside lane in front of the 0-2 of Jaden Wicks. Kind of surprising there. I thought that would have been the move to protect at least 8th place from Jaden, because now he's got not just Brad, but he's got Jaden to his outside, his right rear quarter panel, and he's got Lee breathing down the rear bumper of the 55 machine, coming through turns 1 and 2. 13 laps in, 13 laps away from tonight's event, the Nashville Hot Chicken Hustle event, sponsored by Gary Bowman. Currently running 3rd. Not bad for a race sponsor out here. I don't think this battle's going anywhere anytime soon, so we're going to click around. We're going to try to find some other battles happening out on the track right now. Corey Sherman on track in 13th place, down 1 spot from his qualifying position in 12th. Right in front of him, you got Chris Mackey sliding up the track just a little bit, right in front of Jared Anderson right there. These drivers side by side down here into turn 3. Almost a little bit of contact between the 5 and the 17. And you can see just how close they get on the exit of turns 3 and 4 as they come across the line. Got a little bit of cloud cover out here tonight. See if that clears up, but ooh, we might have a little bit of contact there. Jared Anderson does a nice job of keeping it off of the 17. Coming out of turn number 2, but big looks for Jared Anderson, Chris Mackey. Battles everywhere you look, including the race lead. Battle for the race lead, Matt Semple. Not too far off of current race leader, Arie Heinzman. Yellow flag is out. Looks like it's an issue for Corey Sherman. Chris Rose, Corey Sherman, drivers off track on timing and scoring. So that's going to give us our first yellow flag of the evening out here tonight, and possibly an opportunity to play with something really cool. So let's back this up here real quick and try to take a look, see if we can't find out exactly where the issue may have happened. Trying to find, we got Chris Rose, we got Corey Sherman right there. Okay, let's back up another smidge. See Corey Sherman to the outside, that green and silver and black truck to the outside of the number 07. Corey's going to almost get into the outside wall. Don't think he got into the outside wall, but he did get into the right rear quarter panel of Chris Rose. So let's take one more look at this, and we'll see if this doesn't work. And you're going to see, I've got the opportunity to use this now. You see a little bit of contact right there in between Corey Sherman, Chris Rose. That's going to certainly hurt Chris's aerodynamics, Chris's car. See if Corey gets any damage coming back up on the track. Got a little bit of spoiler damage on the left rear quarter panel. A little hard to see, but Corey's got a little bit of damage on that number 3 truck. Let's take a look at Chris Rose, and Chris is still sitting there. Now he's going to start moving. Got a lot of spoiler damage. You can see it right around there. They gave me a new telestrator, and they said, go have fun. But spoiler damage on the back of the 07, that's going to significantly hurt Chris Rose. And the aerodynamics of his truck certainly make him a little bit looser. A little bit of damage around the left rear quarter panel. For our first caution of the night, that is not what Chris wanted to see, or Corey Sherman. Just 19 laps into this race. 19 laps into this race. First round of pit stops. Had a couple of drivers elect to come down on pit road. Theodore Todorov, Mr. Fred Thompson, Corey Sherman, Mike Stiverson, and Chris Rose. Drivers on and off pit road. So 6 drivers elected to come down on pit road. Arie Heinzman, Matt Semple, Gary Bowman. All status quo up front. No change up here so far. Checking out into our YouTube chat box here as we're under pacing speed out here for the first time out here tonight. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday evening. Let us know how the stream's sounding, how it's looking, any concerns. We'll get it fixed up here on the fly. See Jeff checking in. See Casey Tomlinson checking in. Hope you drivers are doing well out here tonight behind the iRacing.com pace car. Arie Heinzman, currently the race leader. Matt Semple gonna be on the outside front row for this restart here. Now it's gonna be interesting to see because Arie Heinzman started 3rd on the board out here tonight behind Andrew Caldwell. So 3rd on the board for Arie, but was able to immediately gain 2nd place here. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on Gary Bowman and see if Gary is able to take 2nd place away from Matt Semple the same way Arie did to Andrew Caldwell. Or to Gary, excuse me, on the initial start of the race. But pace car about to get out of the way. We got 18 laps to settle the stage. Green flag is back out into the iRacing.com restart zone. Good jump for Arie Heinzman. Was able to get a solid restart there. Going to pull out by about 2, 3, maybe 4 truck lanes over Gary Bowman and Matt Semple as the drivers fight on the exit of turn number 2. Matt Semple carries the momentum down the backstretch here. Going to lead Gary Bowman into turn number 3, so protect position number 2 for Matt Semple. Gary Bowman falls and holds into 3rd place, but Cody Gibson, that Cheetos Chevy Silverado, under fire from Andrew Caldwell. Andrew, one of the biggest movers up here tonight. Cody, one of the biggest movers up here tonight. Up 6 spots from his qualifying effort, started 10th on the board. So a good first stage so far for Cody Gibson as we're working lap number 22. Remember, these drivers are looking for lap number 38 to end the stage here. That is when our first set of points pay out. From 1st to 10th, they'll get stage points, which help them get into the playoffs. A couple of big battles happen back here as Arie Heinzman has stepped out just the tiniest of bits as the race leader by about a quarter second. Jared Anderson, Lee Campbell, Philip Van Vliet, these drivers all fighting each other. So we come down here into turn number 3 following Jared Anderson right now. Lee Campbell up on the outside in that Goodyear blue and yellow truck. Number 64, Lee Campbell, on board with Philip Van Vliet, the Lone Dutchman, as some drivers call him. Oh, see, he gets all the way down there. I really like that line by the 89 by Philip here. Gets all the way down to the inside line, able to wait on the throttle, not really pushing it. We were talking about tires becoming an issue earlier out here tonight. And you hear him, once he's in the throttle, he is in the throttle. There's not a whole lot of back and forth on the throttle, which all that does is heat up the right front tire as the run goes along. This battle, Greg Mitchell has been battling drivers all night long so far. Greg Mitchell under fire from Jaden Wicks in that 02 machine. Jaden gonna get oh so close to the back of that number 55 red and white Chevy Silverado for Greg Mitchell, but gonna be able to take the spot, give position number 8 to Greg Mitchell. Rookie Jaden Wicks, currently the highest running rookie contender in the Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series, currently running 8th on the board out here. So a good opening stage number 1 for Jaden Wicks. Does Jaden have the next 130 laps to close out with a good finish out here tonight for the 3rd race of the season? Driver 76, Rick Thompson and Jared Anderson, not too far behind this camera frame. Rick Thompson and Jared Anderson, drivers battling. This is a battle for position number 11. Last couple of times by, Jared's been a little bit faster than Rick. Not sure if that's a result of being stuck up on the stuck down on the bottom, not being able to use the entire track, or what, or maybe we're just seeing some tire wear come into play. But Jared able to hold off Rick for the time being. While we're watching this battle, Arie Heinzman, Matt Semple, Gary Bowman, Cody Gibson, Andrew Caldwell, that's currently your top 5, separated only by about a second. The entire top 5 is. The top 10 just by about 2.5 seconds as we continue to watch Rick take a look down onto the inside, trying to use every inch of track. It's so hard to throttle up. Right there, you see Rick just needs that extra lane, maybe lane and a half. Oh, he might take it whether he's there or not. Rick needed that extra lane and a half because otherwise Jared was going to be able to carry the momentum here, and Jared might have maybe a little bit of damage on the left front from that contact with Rick Thompson just a moment ago. Looks like he's going to be able to get away just fine, if just fine means you're now into the clutches of Nathan Dufton. Great battles happening towards the back of the speedway out here tonight as we work lap number 30 of 38. Remember, 38 is the stage ending designation out here tonight. That's where drivers are going to pay points. But Theodore Todrov, up 17 spots, is the first car on tires that came down on that lap number 18 caution just about 12 laps ago. So the 25 car is the first car on tires, making his way forward, currently up into 15th place, up 17 spots from his qualifying effort out here tonight. Great opening race, segment, stage, whatever you want to call it, for the 25 machine. Remember, they do have 4 tire sets. Oh, we got contact with the 25 and the 47 live, as I was just telling them. Oh my goodness, lights are going to stay green down and away for Theodore. No caution happened off the racing service here. We may be a little bit too late on that replay here. All right, we'll take a better look at it here. See the 47 down on the inside line. That's Nathan Dufton. Theodore Todrov almost getting into the outside wall. He turns the wheel to the left a little bit on the exit there to try to avoid that. And we'll take a better look on the inside of his cockpit here from Theodore. And watch his steering wheel. If I can, there you go. Watch his steering wheel. He thinks, oh God, I'm going to get into the wall. And then there's a little bit of a turn down there on the wheel. Contact between him and the 47. But everybody comes away from it mostly unscathed. Maybe a little bit of damage on that 25 machine. See a little bit of damage down there on the side skirt of Theodore's truck. But overall, not a bad result for getting spun underneath the green flag conditions here. Not the way he wanted to make use of those tires, but he will continue on and keep racing tonight. Back up front, Arie Heinzman's about to lead lap number 34 of the Hot Chicken Hustle out here tonight over Matt Semple, Gary Bowman, Cody Gibson, and Ed Jurgen, currently the top 5, but about to work lap number 35 here as we're about to come to the end of a stage. In just a couple of laps, Ed Jurgen, Cody Gibson, they're battling for position back there, right in front of Brad Holmes. Let's see if Brad's able to perhaps push one of these 2 drivers through. Takes a look low, takes a look high. Undecided on the lane that he wants to push through. It's so frustrating when you get stuck behind a situation like this, because you're like, I don't care. Oh, yellow flag is out. Yellow flag is out. Who is this for? Let's find out together. Uh-oh. Looks like Carter Lawson had a moment. So that is going to be our stage-ending caution. Points are recorded. Arie Heinzman is stage number 1 winner, followed by Matt Semple, Gary Bowman, Ed Jurgen, Cody Gibson, and points awarded all the way down to Lee Campbell. Rick Thompson got some stage points, up 16 spots from his qualifying effort out here, but expect to see all these drivers on pit road. But let's see if we can't find what happened to... Oh my goodness. Watch out if you're in the pace car. What happened to Carter Lawson here? He's just coming across the track. Somebody had to have turned him. Let's take a look. Looks like maybe Chris Letts was also near Carter Lawson. So Carter up there on the outside lane in that purple Toyota Tundra with, I don't know, is that Rutledge wood on the hood? All by himself here, and he's just going to turn left. That might be a we're going to come back to this here real quick. Leaders are on pit road. Arie Heinzman, Matt Semple, Gary Bowman on pit road. That may have been a wheel disconnect or a wheel failure for Carter there. We'll take another look once pit cycle is through. But drivers on pit road, expect to see 4 tires up, 4 tires down. Arie Heinzman's going to lead the field off of pit road, and then it's a drag race for second place. Beyond that, we're going to get this restacked, repacked. Let's take a look here one more time and see if we can't get a better look at maybe what happened to Carter. So, riding along here, he's still got a wheel here. He's going to get sideways. Did he just get loose? Wow, that's, you know, I take my original statement back. That did not look like a wheel disconnect, so curious as to what may have happened for the driver 98 just now. Not what Carter wanted to see. Oh, getting word from Carter Lawson now. Headset froze on him for no reason. And you know, obviously you're steering the wheel. You're steering the truck with the wheel, right? But when you lose those audio cues, it can be very, very, very disorienting. I've had that happen to me a couple of times. You can't hear the truck get out from you. And perhaps that is what happened to Carter. But really tough break for Carter. This is going to begin stage number 2 from Nashville Superspeedway. Arie Heinzman, the race leader, over Gary Bowman, Matt Semple, side by side down here into turn number 1. Between those two drivers, Cody Gibson not too far behind Ed Jurgen, also trying to hang on to a top 5 spot is Brad Holmes. We got trouble. Jared Thompson going to be going around. Where is Jared on my list here? Jared Thompson. My goodness, where is he? There he is. Jared Thompson goes around. Take a quick look, see if we are maybe right about on time there. See the 5 machine down on the inside lane in front of Brad Holmes in that 0-0 machine. Is there contact between the 0-2 of Jaden Wicks and the 5? I want to say yes at first glance, but we will check one more time. I believe there may have been a little bit of contact between Jaden Wicks and the 5 here. Watch the front nose of the 0-2 and the 5. There was definitely contact there, but Jared was certainly loose before that contact happened. That's just a really unfortunate racing incident between those two drivers. Nowhere really for Jaden to go, and unfortunately, Jared didn't have a whole lot of opportunities to have avoided any sort of contact. But back up front, lap number 43 of 160 as we pass about the quarter-way mark of tonight's race. Arie Heinzman continues to lead over Matt Semple, Gary Bowman, Cody Gibson, Ed Jurgen. That's your current top 5. Battles happening out on track right now. Andrew Caldwell trailing the field, trailing the first group of cars here in 8th place. Lee Campbell, Rick Thompson, drivers battling side by side for 9th place back here. Lee on the bottom lane. Rick Thompson up 16 spots from his qualifying effort. So excellent first opening run for Rick Thompson. Looking just ahead up here in front of Andrew Caldwell in that 46 Toyota Tundra. Greg Mitchell, Ed Jurgen, and Brad Holmes battling for about the 6th place right now. Greg came in as the points leader out here tonight, trying to get some stage points and hang on to that points lead. But on the outside of the 92 machine right now, you see the 55 with a little bit of run. I like the spot that Ed's in here. He's probably far enough ahead that he may clear him. Maybe not on the exit of 4, but probably down the front stretch. A lot of it depends on what Andrew Caldwell decides to do. If he decides to push the 92 or the 55, he's going to push a little bit of both down on the front stretch in that 46 machine. But Greg Mitchell has been battling drivers every single time we have we've watched him out here tonight. Greg not having an easy night behind that number 55 Chevy Silverado for Greg Mitchell. Up front, Arie Heinzman has opened up about a half-second lead, almost 0.7 of a second over third place Gary Bowman, Cody Gibson in fourth, and Brad Holmes has made his way up into a top 5 running position. Other drivers out here tonight, only one driver out of the race so far. That is Carter Lawson. We saw Carter's misfortune happen a couple of minutes ago on the front stretch there to bring out our one and only contact caution of tonight's event. Riding on board with Brian Dorsey right now. Brian Dorsey in the number 9, the veteran driver here in the Cyber Thunder Racing League. Currently running back in 19th place. Started 22nd on the board, right behind series newcomer and series rookie Dwayne Young. Underneath Steven Music, following Corey Sherman. Corey Sherman perhaps may have had an in-race penalty of an EOL for getting into the side of the 07 there. Not entirely sure if that actually did happen or not, but by the looks of it, Corey Sherman back down to 16th place with a truck that looks pretty okay for that number 3. Probably did take an end of longest line penalty for causing the caution. We saw a little bit of damage before on the 3 machine. Looks all right on Corey Sherman right now. See if we see any damage up on the right front of Corey. Don't see anything. So Corey just down track position right now. That's Corey's biggest issue that he's working with. More battles happen, and still out here over the speedway, Ed Jurgen, Lee Campbell. They're continuing to battle for 9th and 10th place down here on the backstretch, halfway down this 1.33 mile concrete track. Again, we were talking about tire wear and how much the concrete is just going to it's kind of like a cheese grater. It's just going to eat the tires alive as this race goes along, and the sun, you see, starts to hit the track. These drivers are working with every bit of right front tire that they've possibly got. But Lee Campbell trying to protect. What are we doing here? Lee Campbell trying to protect 10th place as he also battles Ed Jurgen for 9th, but not a very easy thing to do, because when you look back a little bit, you've also got Philip Van Vliet, that lone Dutchman in that number 89 machine, not too far behind Ed Jurgen and Lee Campbell. So battle of about 4, maybe 5 cars right here, all underneath a blanket. Very difficult situation for Lee Campbell to be in to try to make a pass. On Ed Jurgen, but keeping an eye all over the speedway right now, watching one of the closer battles. Matt Semple has closed in a little bit here over Arie Heinzman. Last couple of laps, 48, 50, 51, 52. Anywhere from about half a tenth, quarter of a tenth to about a half a tenth faster than Arie Heinzman. Take a look at that lap time by. About 100th of a second slower for Matt Semple that time behind driver 28. And some of that may be air, some of that may be the block, the tightness of the air that Matt is now sitting in behind Arie Heinzman. Watch him come around again, see what the times update to. That time by a little bit faster for Matt Semple. And you can see the run that Matt Semple's getting down the backstretch here of Arie Heinzman. Battle for the race lead. Second stage does end at lap number 70, so these drivers have about 15 laps to get it done between now and lap 70. That time by advantage to Arie Heinzman. What Matt gained, Matt lost between lap 54 to lap 55. So a very tight battle between these two top front runners right now. Cody Gibson not too far behind Gary Bowman, currently running in fourth. Brad Holmes rounding out the top five, and Greg Mitchell has made his way into sixth place. Andrew Caldwell, Rick Thompson, Ed Jurgen, Lee Campbell. That's currently your top 10 on the board out here tonight, 57 laps through. Looks like the battle for the lead may be settling down, fizzing down just the tiniest of bits here. While that does that, we're going to take this opportunity to take a look back here in about the 9th place position, 10th place position. Ed Jurgen, Lee Campbell fighting for one of the final stage point spots here. Stage closing in 12 laps. So Ed and Lee and Rick and Andrew and Philip back there trying to gain some points, but Tanner Marr, another driver on the move out here tonight, up a couple of spots from his qualifying position in front of Corey Sherman in that number 3 machine. Corey's going to take a look to the outside, possibly of the 47. He's going to have to get out of the gas there and give it just another corner before he takes a full look on Tanner Marr and Nathan Dufton. But Corey Sherman here with a great run has to get out of the gas on the backstretch to not run over the back of the 47 of Nathan Dufton. They got 3 wide happening in front of him. Dwayne Young now up in the picture down on the bottom, that number 48 Chevy Silverado. The battle we've got going on up here. We got battles for the race lead. We got battles for stage points back in 8th, 9th, 10th. We got battles for 15th and 16th back here. Nathan Dufton in the wall. Corey Sherman down on the inside, into the inside. That was almost a moment between the 48 and the 3. That got very, very close here. We're going to let this settle out just for a minute before we take another quick little replay of that moment that almost resulted in a caution. Looks like these drivers have agreed to play nicely here. But this all starts with Nathan Dufton getting up to the outside while Dwayne Young tries to pull down just about a half a lane, give him some space, make sure he doesn't run over the 47. And then Corey Sherman says, "Here I come." Corey Sherman gets a couple of positions. But if I'm Dwayne Young, that was a lot closer than I was comfortable with. That's one of the great things about the Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series here is that we got battles and moments like that happening every single lap across the board, up and down the field. These two drivers won't leave each other alone out here tonight. Greg Mitchell to the outside of Brad Holmes. Nope, not that button. Greg Mitchell to the outside of Brad Holmes. Before we saw Greg on the inside of Brad, wasn't able to get the pass completed. But now he's got the outside momentum for that number 55 driver out of Austin, Texas. Greg Mitchell in that racingcockpits.com Chevy Silverado. He's going to come right across. Wow, that was close. The nose of Greg Mitchell. Wow, that was close between Brad Holmes and Greg Mitchell right here, but comes right across the nose. I think Greg probably paid a favor here to not have any sort of contact right there, but that was a very close call between the 55 and the 0-0. But these drivers are still fighting each other, working lap number 65 inside of the designation window. So if a caution does come out now, that will be the stage-ending yellow flag out here. But these two drivers have been going at it all night long through the first half of this race. Greg Mitchell's going to have to fall in behind Brad Holmes for the time being in that 0-0 machine. Brad Holmes going to hold on to a fifth place running position right now. Ed Jurgen not too far behind. He's taking a look on Andrew Caldwell to the inside of that number 46 Safelite Toyota Tundra, trying to get every spot possible with the stage ending in just 3 laps. That's a stage point. That's a season point that Ed Jurgen could be picking up here to help him advance into the playoffs. And we take a look one more time here real quick before the stage ends of the season standings coming in. Andrew Caldwell in second, 1 stage points. Ed Jurgen comes in 6th in season standings. So every point matters. There's only 10 points between 3rd place and 8th place in points. So every point matters. Every stage result matters more now than ever for these drivers. As the stage is about to come to a close here, we got 2 really great battles right here. Greg Mitchell down on the inside of Brad Holmes once again. And also Brad Holmes and Greg Mitchell and Ed Jurgen. Rick Thompson up into the battle as well for 7th place. Behind this battle of 2 drivers, we got battles everywhere you look out here tonight. Andrew Caldwell, driver up on the outside lane, trying to use the outside momentum here, trying to somehow watch 2 battles simultaneously here. Neither one of these battles are dissipating anytime soon, or at least for the next lap until the stage caution comes out. Advantage to Greg Mitchell as they head down here into turn number 1. Is he able to clear him? No, he is not able to clear him. So they are going side by side down into turn number 1. Take a look at this battle right behind them, also for stage points. Andrew Caldwell up on the outside, probably advantage 46 right here, unless Rick Thompson thinks about taking a look down onto the inside. Does not look like he's going to do that. So 46-92 gonna have a drag race off of the corner. Greg Mitchell has made his way around Brad Holmes to come across the line as we wait for the stage yellow flag to come out. Andrew Caldwell in front of Ed Jurgen, and there is the stage ending caution flag. Holy moly, that was a lot of battles happening, all going on at once. But while all that was happening, Arie Heinzman sweeps stage 1 and stage 2 from tonight's race. Out here tonight, drivers expected to come down here on pit road, get some fresh tires, and we're going to begin stage number 3 here in just a few minutes.
basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around, we're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As that's still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
All right, back here once again from Nashville Superspeedway, stage number 3, getting ready to get underway. Arie Heinzman has won both stage number 1 and 2 out here in tonight's race as we are about ready to go. Back green flag racing once again from the Nashville Hot Chicken Hustle. Again, race sponsored by Gary Bowman. So Gary Bowman, thank you for picking up tonight's race, allowing these drivers to come up here every Tuesday night on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network series. And green flag is out once again for the 3rd time. Arie Heinzman is going to lead them down into turn number 1 with about a 3, maybe 4 truck length lead. New contender for 2nd place now, Cody Gibson. Came off pit road in a pretty good spot for that number 1 machine. New truck out here for Cody Gibson this season, that Chevy Silverado. Cool looking truck he's got, a little variant than what we saw on that number 1 machine last season. Of course, Cody Gibson getting his first career win at the season finale last season at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the old Atlanta 2008, not the Super Speedway one, but the bumpy one, the higher one. So Cody Gibson knows how to get it done when it comes to tire strategy out here tonight. Cody Gibson trying to make his way through to take spot number 2 away from Matt Semple. Looks like he's going to be able to make that spot all up on his own, and he's going to protect position number 2. Greg Mitchell now continues his march forward. Greg started 4th on the board out here tonight, up to 3rd place right now, trying to get a run on Matt Semple in that 16 truck. He's going to take a look high, take a look maybe low down on that 16 of Semple. Has to think better of it going into turn number 3. But Greg Mitchell under fire from Andrew Caldwell. Andrew Caldwell under fire from Gary Bowman, who's under fire from Rick Thompson. But we got a battle for the race lead for the first time out here tonight. First challenger for the race lead, Cody Gibson on the inside lane. As yellow flag is out, who was the race leader at the time? Looks like maybe Brad Holmes had a moment. Chris Rose maybe had another moment. Who was the race leader at the moment of yellow? All right, we got some things to take a look at here. We got the race leader to settle out. Looks like Cody Gibson may have gotten that spot, but we've also got a yellow flag, perhaps for Brad Holmes and Chris Rose. Let's see if we can't get a. Oh man, that's where real estate gets expensive. That may be about the riding on board here with Brad Holmes underneath Matt Hamilton. Difficult 3-wide situation to be in. Chris Rose comes up the track just a little bit. Brad didn't really have a whole lot of options here. Let's take another look, and we're going to try to slow this down as much as we possibly can. Difficult 3-wide spot to be in here for Brad Holmes, Chris Rose. Looks like maybe Matt Hamilton also got a little bit of damage. Looks like Matt's probably going to get out of there about as good as he could. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one is called. But moment for the 07 out here is a couple of drivers on pit road. Arie Heinzman comes on pit road. Dominant driver out here tonight so far. The driver number 28 comes on pit road. So does Ed Jurgen. So does Phil Van Vliet. So does Dwayne Young. So does Amanda Sherman, Brad Holmes, Steven Music. Maybe just fuel stops there for these drivers here. So we were talking before, and now I'm not good at math. I may need to use like my telestrator here, and, do math on the stream. But we heard before drivers can get anywhere between 42 to 45 laps. What these drivers coming in right now tell me is that these drivers expect it to run green, and they are looking to stay out. But I tell you what, I didn't think Arie was going to be able to get away from me all night tonight. Arie, how you doing up here? It's Tom.
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, we just saw you come down here on pit road. You've been leading the race for the majority of the time out here tonight. Are we looking at a fuel game here? What are we looking at in that 28 truck?
We are. The way that the end of the stage was placed with the length of this race, it was looking like a 3 to 4 laps of saving on either side of the run if you wanted to make it on one stop. And with that right there coming down to top off, that puts me in a position where I feel like at best I just have to save maybe half a lap or a lap here and there, but I'll be able to push a lot harder compared to anyone else trying to one stop it.
So now, does this put you in a box? I know you're going to go back racing here in a second. Does this put you in a box that you need this to run green the rest of the way for this to work?
It would be ideal if we got at least a long enough green flag run. We'll see how it goes. Cautions breed cautions, but I feel also like, we've kind of seen a somewhat sloppy, somewhat incident-filled first half of the race. And anytime we've seen that before here in Cyber, it usually feels like the second half everyone learns to calm down. So hopefully, hoping for it to go green. But either way, I know I can push harder now and be a little more aggressive.
All right. All right. I can't find the button. All right. Well, best of luck to you. Get you back down there with your team as we're about set to go racing. Once again, I'm going to stick you in the wrong channel to start. Let's move you down one more. There you go. Now you're in the right channel. Arie Heinzman, dominant driver, out here tonight so far. Restarting back in 19th place. Watch, and 20th place. Watch for her to try to come up and try to make her way through the field. But Cody Gibson, that now opens up a whole Pandora's box of opportunities for Cody Gibson, Greg Mitchell, Andrew Caldwell, Matt Semple, Rick Thompson, Gary Bowman. The names are endless here of drivers that are taking this opportunity to possibly play spoiler. Now as this race goes along, couple of quick cautions. You heard Arie saying, it would be ideal to have this race run green. These drivers up here are perhaps looking for a couple of cautions out here. Single file for about the first 8, 9, maybe 10 cars back. Leroy Koblenz, I will have everybody know. Leroy Koblenz was one of my picks, or my pick to win tonight's race on Thunderstruck, the official podcast of the Cyber Thunder Racing League. Leroy up 9 spots from his qualifying effort out here as he battles Jared Anderson for the 11th place position on the inside line. So Leroy having a solid run so far tonight. Not a scratch on that truck. Looks perfect. Looks like it just rolled off a pit road 85 laps ago for Leroy. The entire Graybeard team here really has stepped up. Eric Anderson obviously winning Daytona, the week 1 opener. Leroy Koblenz, Dave Gainforth, Andy Cork, Eric Anderson, all these drivers certainly trying to make a mark as a new season begins here in the Cyber Thunder Racing League. But up front, you're not missing much. Cody Gibson, Greg Mitchell, Matt Semple, that's your top three. Rick Thompson continues to be the biggest mover of the night so far, up 21 spots, started 25th on the board. Incredible run for the Speed Mafia driver, 76, out here tonight. Rick Thompson, slowly but steadily making his way up towards the front of the field. Phenomenal run for Rick out here tonight. We're watching the battle right now for about the, we'll call this the 8th place position here. Lee Campbell, Nathan Dufton, Jared Anderson, Larry Bell also in contention here. Leroy Koblenz not too far behind it. Dave Gainforth running in 14th, having a great run for that 101 truck. As we are just about halfway through tonight's race. Nathan Dufton onto the inside of Lee Campbell, trying to make every single spot up that he can while this is happening. Remember, Arie Heinzman came down, did not take tires. So Arie Heinzman restarted 19th on the board out here tonight on this most recent caution, came down on lap number 80 for that caution. So far has only made her way up to 14th place. Hold the phone. Brian Dorsey sends it down onto the inside of Dave Gainforth. I thought Dave Gainforth was going for another ride here on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network, but Brian Dorsey holds it down onto the bottom. But big look for the number 9, that Chevy Silver, that Ford F-150 for Mr. Dorsey. But anyway, Arie restarted this restart back in 19th, only gained 5 spots. So that just shows you how difficult it is to pass for these drivers. Other drivers that came down on this round of green flag or yellow flag pit cycles, Ed Jurgen, Dwayne Young, Phil Van Vliet, they're still running 17th, 18th, 20th. Amanda Sherman came down. She's running in 22nd. Jaden Wicks, 23rd. So difficult moments for these drivers back here as they try to make their way back up towards the front. Now these drivers are looking for a couple of cautions, maybe not a whole flurry of them to finish out segment or stage number 3 here of the race, but they may be a little bit closer on fuel than drivers like Arie Heinzman, Ed Jurgen, Dwayne Young, drivers that we were just talking about that just came down on pit road that most recent time. But Greg Mitchell, points leader coming into tonight, has made his way up to 2nd place in front of Matt Semple. Trying to run down Cody Gibson. Cody Gibson, again, we spoke about it earlier tonight. Cody Gibson got his first career win at the season finale last time we were at Atlanta Motor Speedway, just a couple of weeks ago, really, if you think about it. Our season ended the first week of August or something like that, and now Cody Gibson running up front once again. A familiar spot for driver number 1 in that Cheetos orange and whatever else he's got on the side of that truck. But a familiar spot for Cody Gibson up towards the front of the field. While this is all happening, we're going to step back here a little bit to about the 20th place running position, and we're doing this because Phil Van Vliet in that number 89 truck is one of the cars that came down on that lap number 80 caution here. Has not been able to make up the spots that I think Philip wanted to so far. Still running back in about 80th. Oh, almost contact. There is contact for Theodore Todorov and Chris Mackey. We caught that one live here on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network. Theodore goes for a little bit of a slide, but very, that might be, do we have a smooth hands move of the race? But Chris Mackey down onto the inside, slides up just a little bit, and contact with the left rear to the right front between 25-17 Excellent job by Theodore right there to avoid spinning that truck around and potentially bringing out another caution. We stay green here from Nashville Superspeedway. Looking for other battles out here right now. Arie Heinzman started 19th on this restart. We've said it a couple of times. Back up to the 12th place position, just past Larry Bell. Larry Bell, we haven't said Larry Bell's name, I don't think, once tonight. But solid run so far for Larry Bell. Up 11 spots from his qualifying position in 24th out here tonight. Larry Bell having a great run so far, but Arie Heinzman's going to make his, her way around Nathan Dufton halfway down the backstretch here, entering turn number 3. And clear for 11th place and set sail on Jared Anderson, who's currently running in 10th. Ed Jurgen, Nathan Dufton not too far behind, but Leroy Koblenz given the back bumper massage or the door bumper clear move to Nathan Dufton here on the outside of that number 42 machine. Great run by Leroy, not just tonight, but the first 3 races of the season. Really can't say enough about the efforts that Leroy and drivers over in that camp have put in, because the efforts are certainly showing just 3 races into the new season. Once again, taking a look back up towards the front of the field, Matt Semple now under fire from Rick Thompson. I tell you what, Rick Thompson may be the sleeper to win tonight's race. Driver out of Utah. His dad's also in the field out here tonight. Fred Thompson in 30th. Having a decent run for Fred Thompson as well. But Rick Thompson, I don't know if anybody else sees him coming. Keep an eye on that 76 truck out here tonight, as he has been making his way forward throughout the first half of the race. Again, up 21 spots from his 25th position qualifying effort out here. So excellent run so far for Mr. Rick Thompson. Matt Semple is going to hold on to 3rd place for right now. Greg Mitchell holding place in 2nd place. And Cody Gibson currently still your race leader. Corey Sherman, Andrew Caldwell, top 5, top 6. Corey Sherman, after having some issues in earlier tonight's event. Oh, we got yellow flag out. Oh, no, not Dave Gainforth. All right, let's see. Yellow flag is out over the speedway. I see a yellow flag, perhaps Dave Gainforth and Jaden Wicks. Let's see if we can't find. Where is Dave? Dave's on the outside up here. There you go. See Dave. I get to use my telestrator once again. I love making my little circles there. Vroom. Dave Gainforth to the outside. We're going to take a closer look at that. I think I saw... Oh, Philip Van... Oh, well, where did... Let's go back here. Oh, and Jaden Wicks disappears. Jaden Wicks disappears. You can see the contact right there on the left rear quarter panel of Dave Gainforth, and he's going to try to go right, and then he's going to try to go left, and then he's coming all the way down here. But Dave Gainforth got the tires locked up here, but still going to get into the inside wall. We'll get my my Picasso drawings off there. But all the race leaders on pit road: Cody Gibson, Greg Mitchell, Matt Semple, Andrew Caldwell, all are pitting, including Arie Heinzman, Ed Jurgen, drivers who pitted on that lap number 80 caution. One driver did stay out. That's Matthew Hamilton. But whole different strategies happening down here on pit road. Let's see. Well, this ought to be good. Let's pull, I can't see how this could possibly go wrong here. Let's talk to the driver of the number 101, Dave Gainforth. Dave, Tom up here. How are you tonight?
I'm fine, Tom.
I'm glad to hear, Dave. We were just talking about you on the broadcast just a couple of minutes ago. We see you pulling off of your pit box here. How's the truck feeling? Did you get some damage done? You think you're going to be able to run this 101 out?
I had 38 seconds worth of damage, I think. I got it all fixed, so we'll see. I'm having troubles here. This isn't, I don't know, I can't figure this track out.
Yeah,
I'm still having problems with my new wheel getting the settings the way I like them to. It's just not comfortable yet.
Well, Dave, hopefully you're able to finish out. Taking a look at your truck here, we'll give you some broadcaster insight here. Don't really see a whole lot of damage on it. The quarter panels look good. The spoiler looks straight. I don't see any damage on the nose of your truck. So I think you're good to go. Why don't you put a set of the Goodyears on there and get up there?
Oh, I got a new set of rubber on there, and when I went in, the left front fender was kind of kinked up. I could see air through it. So if they fixed it, it looks good. I know where to go but up from here.
I don't see a scratch of damage on that truck, so perhaps we'll get to talk to you out here a little bit later tonight. Dave, involved in the most recent caution, what channel were you in? Do you know?
With Eric and that.
No, that doesn't help me. All right, let me see.
Sorry.
7. No, you're good. You're good. All right, we'll move you back down to 7. And that's the right one for Dave Gainforth, driver involved in the most recent caution. But green flag back out. Matthew Hamilton, only driver to stay out. About 30 lap older tires. Matthew Hamilton gonna be those 30 lap older tires are going to take effect quickly. Brad Holmes having an issue. Holy smokes. All right, let's see. All right, Brad Holmes down there on the apron here. Let's take a look. See a little bit of a 4-wide situation here. Let's back this up just a couple of more seconds here. Four-wide situation. Driver 4700 48. Not sure who else may have been involved. We're gonna back this up just a smidge more. Try to get a better look at it. See one driver out of line on the restart here. I want to say that's the 48 just by the hood. Brad Holmes, second car on the inside line right there. And just everybody just runs out of space. Yeah, Dwayne Young in that 48 machine. Did catch a little bit of damage there, but see a little bit of damage on the front of Brad Holmes' truck. So he's going to be coming down on pit road, presumably, to get that fixed. Oop, there we go. Yeah, he's going to come down on pit road, try to get some of this damage fixed on the grill of that truck. At a place like this, I mean, we were just talking to Dave Gainforth. Dave just said he had a little bit of damage on his right front fender. You certainly don't want it there either, but you certainly don't want it there either. Other drivers on pit road, while all this is happening, Theodore Todorov, Larry Bell, Matthew Hamilton. Matthew Hamilton's going to come down. He says, I did not like that. So Matthew Hamilton comes down. Larry Bell and some other drivers. Well, who else can we talk to out here tonight? Where is, let's talk to driver 76, biggest mover of the night so far. Try to pull up Mr. Rick Thompson. Rick Thompson, Tom up here up in the booth. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, Tom. How you doing?
Man, I've been good. I've been watching you come through the field all night long so far. Biggest mover of the night, and I said it a couple of laps ago. I said, there may be a sleeper out here tonight, and he may be driving the 76. What else you got in that 76 to bring it home?
I mean, I feel pretty racy. I feel pretty fast. I think I need the tire wear to go down a little bit. When everybody's got new stuff, it's really hard to differentiate the faster guys from everybody else. But, you know, I feel pretty good, especially with the long run. Hopefully we get a long run coming up. And I got Arie in the back there, so she's got to come through a long way. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
All right, I'll let you run here real quick, but real quick, fuel, good? One more stop? What do you got?
Probably going to need one more stop, but it's probably like a splash and go. We're probably about, if I had to guess, everybody's probably 5 to 10 laps short right now.
All right, well, you heard it, Rick. Good luck the rest of the race. I'm going to kick you back down there with Mr. Fred Thompson as these drivers get set to go once again out here from the Hot Chicken Hustle. I love the name of that race that Gary gave us, by the way. The Hot Chicken Hustle here from Nashville Superspeedway. Out here tonight to begin lap 109. Green flag is back out. Green flag is back out. Cody Gibson's going to take about a truck, maybe a truck and a half length lead over second place. Greg Mitchell falls into second, but third place is up for contention here. Ed Jurgen holds on to that, right in front of Rick Thompson, Matt Semple, Andrew Caldwell. Got a group of 4, 5, 6 cars, 7 cars, 8 cars or more coming through turns 3 and 4. Ed Jurgen under fire from Rick Thompson. We just spoke to Rick just a moment ago, but you see the 3 wide situation happening right now. Ed's on the inside, on the middle there, not having a great moment. Sounded like a couple of trucks going around. Mike Stiverson goes around in the back. I see Dwayne Young going around in the back. Fred Thompson goes around. Larry Bell goes around. Steven Music goes around. Oh my goodness. Andy Cork looks like also involved. Theodore Todorov possibly involved. Dwayne Young. Whole bunch of drivers involved here. Well, let's do what we do and take another look here. All right, so we come into this a moment late, but Leroy Koblenz already sideways in front of Dwayne Young. Mike Stiverson also gets suspiciously loose on the outside there. Not sure if there was contact. Brian Dorsey barely squeezing by up on the inside line. And then you see the contact between Phil Van Vliet, Mike Stiverson. Oh, Jaden Wicks, nowhere to go. And just absolute mayhem from back there. We'll take a look at the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network truck. But drivers involved: Larry Bell, Andy Cork, Dwayne Young, Fred Thompson. Theodore Todorov looks like he did a phenomenal job of getting that 25 truck slowed down and out of the way. Steven Music involved. Wow, what a moment for those drivers. Let's go on board here with Theodore, on board with Theodore Todorov, coming through turns 1 and 2, and he sees a little bit of smoke, and you can already see him starting to slow down. If I guess that doesn't work here, starting to slow down here, but you just see an absolute mess of cars in a parking lot in front of him. Sees the 02 starting to come down. He says, "Oh, I'll make a left-hand turn." Avoids Mike Stiverson. Nice job by the 25 truck. But Mike Stiverson on pit road with some damage. Not the night that Mike wanted. I spoke to Mike earlier tonight, and he said, I kind of just want to finish tonight's race without a whole lot of damage. So, unfortunate, what I presume to be the end to Mike's night, at least competitively. But well, we've bothered almost everybody else in the field out here tonight, so let's now chat with Greg Mitchell. Greg, every time we've seen you tonight, you've been battling somebody. What do you got these next 48 laps?
Yeah, I can't get away. So I run by myself, it seems like. I've had a few laps, but not much. But we'll see what I got for Cody. He's pretty fast. He's got this entry into 1 that's crazy. I can't pull it off. He's really good at between 1 and 2. So I seem to catch a little in 3 and 4, but then he's got more momentum coming off. So I don't know what I got for him, but we'll see.
Well, something to keep in mind, Arie Heinzman came down on that lap number 80 pit stop, has only made her way back up to 10th place. Does that give you any insight as to what you might do if you get a late caution here?
Yeah, that's the game right now, is when to pit. We don't know if we need to short pit or long, do the long game, just in case there's a late caution. So roll the dice, see what happens.
All right, we'll pick up the dice. We'll see which side it lands on. Best of luck to you the rest of the race. We're going to kick you back out of here and hopefully send you to the right channel, which we did. But Greg Mitchell, driving the number 55 machine, trying to give Cody Gibson a run for his money. Up here, Rick Thompson. We've talked to Rick Thompson already out here tonight in that Toyota Tundra. Pace car down and away once again as the field of 33 drivers comes out of turn number 4 into the restart zone under the guidance of Cody Gibson. Cody Gibson opens up about a truck, maybe a 2-truck length lead over second place Greg Mitchell. Rick Thompson now up 22 spots. Rick was saying he felt pretty racy out there tonight, so we'll see if that 76 machine continues his march forward. But great run so far for the 76. Win, lose, or draw, Rick has to feel good about how he raced here tonight, as we've got a 3-wide battle here. Tanner Marr, Gary Bowman, Arie Heinzman going down to turn number 1. That's real estate's going to get expensive here. Tanner on the middle, Gary up on the outside, Arie on the inside. Is Arie going to climb up in front of the 8? Oh, thinks about it, says maybe not just yet. Really smart racing etiquette right there from my usual co-host in the booth, Arie Heinzman, to not jump up in front of Gary Bowman, potentially cause an issue. But Corey Sherman, again, working his way up through the field. Corey had to take I presume, a longest line penalty at some point tonight when involved in an incident with Chris Rose in the 07. But Arie Heinzman on the inside of Gary Bowman. Gary Bowman says, you're going to have to run it down into the grass here, Arie, if you want to pass me. Gary trying to hold on to that position right there. And you can see the nose right up on the outside quarter panel of the 28 machine. That's what Gary Bowman does best. He's going to have a little bit of a rolling roadblock here with Ed Jurgen right up in front of him. And now he's going to take a look down to the inside here. We got another 3-wide battle happening down here into 3. Arie Heinzman's going to come out of that battle as the leader of this little pack, now back up to 7th place after restarting 19th on one of those cautions here. But Tanner Marr and Ed Jurgen having battles everywhere you look out here tonight. What a phenomenal race we're seeing from Nashville Superspeedway as we continue our way through the 3rd race of the Tuesday Night Thunder Championship Series. Hey, if everybody's enjoying tonight's broadcast, make sure you click that like button, that subscribe button. Click that little bell too. Get notified every time we go live here. We're going to be live tomorrow night from the Friggy Diggy Racing League from their Cup Series at Gateway Worldwide Technology Raceway, whatever it's called. Tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern, and then Thursday night here on the Cyber Thunder broadcast, we've got our Better Half Dash, where the wives and the boyfriends and the girlfriends and the husbands and the kids and all the drivers who have never raced on iRacing, they get to strap into the rig from the couch to the cockpit, as we're calling it, for our 3rd not-so-annual Better Half Dash. That's going to be a phenomenal time. They're going to be running the Mazdas at Las Vegas. So that is sure to be a great time. Non-points event. Fun little special event that we're doing here on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network as we get set to go racing 3 nights a week here this week from the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network. Arie Heinzman continuing to make her way, trying to make her way up around Matt Semple, which is a battle for the 6th place position on the south end of the speedway. Battle in Matt Semple right now. Gary Bowman is not going away. Gary Bowman says, if one of you drivers makes a mistake, I am here to take both of your spots away. It's just a matter of which one of these drivers, if either, make a mistake. Up front, Cody Gibson still leads by about a half a second, 3/4 of a second over Greg Mitchell, and 3rd place Rick Thompson. Andrew Caldwell just over a second behind, and Corey Sherman has made his way running back into the into a solid top 5 running position out here so far. Difficult position for Gary Bowman to be in right now, is he's also got a battle starting to form up behind him. Jared Anderson, Tanner Marr right behind Gary, as I thought Gary may have thought about taking a look down onto the inside for a 3-wide situation, but decides better of it. But you see this great battle that we've got going on right here with Arie Heinzman leading this little group of 5 drivers. Driver 28, 16, 8, 5, and 4. That's Arie Heinzman, Matt Semple, Gary Bowman, Jared Anderson, and Tanner Marr leading this train of 5 cars around the exit of turn number 2, halfway down the backstretch of Nashville Superspeedway. Working lap number 124. So time is rapidly running out for the drivers that came down on fuel, and I got to imagine these drivers that came down on the most recent caution, I think everybody's on the same tire strategy at this point. So we'll see. I mean, passing is certainly difficult here, as Matt Semple is not giving up on that 6th place position out here. Other battles happening out on track right now. Chris Mackey not really having the run for tonight for the 17 truck that Chris was hoping to have. Started 8th on the grid out here tonight. Takes a look down onto the inside of Brian Dorsey in that number 9 Ford F-150. Down 6 spots, make it 5 spots as he passes Brian for the 13th place position out here. But Chris Mackey probably was hoping for a little bit more out here, but hey, game is not over. You can get a couple of late race cautions. We'll see what happens entirely, but battles right behind these 2 drivers. Ed Jurgen going to battle head-to-head with Leroy Koblenz. Going down to turn number 3, looks like Ed says, you know what, you go ahead, you take that spot. I'll try to get you back on another lap. But Leroy Koblenz makes the pass on Ed Jurgen for 15th place running position. Other big battles happening out here. Theodore Todorov currently running an 18th. A little bit on his own. Has had a little bit of an incident-filled race. A lot of it not to his own doing, but good running so far tonight for the 25 machine. For everything we've talked about Theodore tonight, truck looks pretty solid and pretty clean. A couple of drivers on pit road from that most recent contact caution. Jackie Brandon, Chris Letts, Phil Van Vliet, and Mike Stuyvesant are the drivers that are on pit road getting damage fixed, but clicking back up here to the race lead as we now approach, next time by, we're going to approach 30 laps remaining in tonight's event. You got a top 3 pull away right now. Andrew Caldwell in 4th, kind of running in an island all of his own. And then you got 5th through about 10th. Kind of running in a little bit of a group right here. See Matt Semple, Arie Heinzman, Corey Sherman, Jared Anderson, Tanner Marr, not too far behind each one of these drivers. I don't know if Arie can get there. I mean, it's been 50 laps now. Everybody's on the same tires here. We heard Greg say possibly. Oh, Andrew Caldwell comes down on pit road. Oh, that was unexpected here. So we will put on our pit stop counter here. Ed Jurgen also on pit road. All right, so we heard possibly 1, maybe 2 stops. So it looks like drivers looking to split this here with just a handful of laps to go, about 30 laps remaining. Ed Jurgen comes down on pit road, so Andrew Caldwell. So now we'll see. Andrew Caldwell came in running 4th. We'll see how long Andrew Caldwell, as Nathan Dufton makes his way down onto pit road from the 17th running place position. Mike Stiverson comes out on pit road. But you got the pit stop times down on the bottom of the box there. So now we're waiting to see if Cody Gibson stays out, Greg Mitchell stays out, Rick Thompson stays out, Corey Sherman stays out, Matt Semple stays out. Oh, don't look now. Arie Heinzman, one of the first cars on pit road here. So perhaps Arie maybe also had concerns about not being able to make up the spots underneath green flag conditions. But it looks like Cody Gibson, leader on pit road. Cody Gibson comes onto pit road. 45 miles an hour is what drivers got to get down to. Matt Semple on pit road. We got a round of green flag pit stops happening right now, and a caution right now would be devastating for any of these leaders. Greg Mitchell coming on pit road. Looks like he might be a little... Oh, get it slowed down, Greg. 45 is what the troopers will let you slide by. You know what they say, 9 you're fine, 10 you're mine. On pit road for race leader Greg Mitchell. Gary Bowman comes down on pit road. He's going to be racing Matt Semple off for track position out here. Rick Thompson takes the lead through this round of green flag pit stops out here. Now, where is Andrew Caldwell versus... Andrew Caldwell versus, let's say, Cody Gibson. There you see the difference right there, the 46. Entering turn number 1, not too far behind. Andrew Caldwell was one of the first drivers to come down. I'm trying to find... There's Andrew Caldwell. Halfway down the backstretch here. Cody Gibson. Probably about 1.5 seconds to maybe 2 seconds in front of him as more leaders continue to pit. Tanner Marr has cycled around. Leroy Koblenz has cycled around. Theodore Todorov, Larry Bell, Corey Sherman. So let's also do... Let's do 3 drivers here. So Arie Heinzman was one of the first drivers to come on pit road following Andrew Caldwell here. So let's take a look and see if any of these drivers here possibly... That's a really short time on pit road for Cody Gibson. 10-second pit stop here for Cody Gibson, driver of the number 1 out here. I don't know that that's a 4-tire stop for Cody Gibson. That may be a 2-tire stop for Cody. We may be seeing a 2-tire stop for the race leader Cody Gibson through this round of green flag pit stops. Last time by 30.25 for Cody Gibson. Andrew Caldwell was a 30.6, 30.4 for Arie Heinzman. So either traffic or it actually was a 4-tire pit stop. Time will tell as we have 22 laps remaining in tonight's event. While this is all happening, you've got Tanner Marr, Larry Bell, Theodore Todorov, Lee Campbell, Dwayne Young. That's your current top 5. They have not yet pitted, except Tanner is now making his way onto pit road. Those drivers up in the top 6 have not yet pitted. These drivers up here have not yet pitted. So Cody Gibson, Rick Thompson, Andrew Caldwell, Arie Heinzman expected to be the race leaders once this round of green flag cycles, green flag pit stops does cycle through. All right, let's try to get caught back up here. We're going to keep a very close eye on 6th through 7th or 8th or 9th or 10th. We're going to keep a very close eye on that battle right down there. But Larry Bell, currently your race leader, about a second in front, maybe about a second and a half in front of Rick Thompson, followed by Arie Heinzman, Andrew Caldwell. Larry Bell coming onto pit road this time by. That's going to move Theodore Todorov into the race lead, assuming he does not pit this time, which he does not. Followed by Dwayne Young and Rick Thompson. But Theodore, Lee, Larry, Dwayne, Fred, these drivers right now are looking for, as I hear a car going around, these drivers are looking for a caution to come out at this very moment and come down all onto pit road together. Theodore Todorov, race leader with 20 laps to go, is coming down onto pit road. That's going to pass the lead over to Lee Campbell right now. Arie Heinzman still third in line. Yeah, third in line behind Cody Gibson, as the battle for what would essentially be the race win, once this round of green flag pit stops here is completed, begins to close up a little bit. Rick Thompson not too far behind. Position number 3, Cody Gibson, but Cody Gibson is the first car that's good to go on fuel here. See, the last couple of times, Rick has been faster, but that time Cody Gibson did pick it up and was about half a tenth faster for the number 1 machine of Cody Gibson. But the previous couple of laps, I mean, you see 0.3 of a second on lap number lap number 140. There we go. We'll take a look, see what it comes up to that time. Oh my gosh, they keep passing each other. Oh, issues for Rick Thompson there. What happened to Rick? Maybe issues getting around the slower driver of older tires of Dwayne Young. Let's take a closer look and see what happened. We stay green here. Oh, Dwayne's just going to miss the corner and come up and make contact with the left rear of Rick Thompson. We stay green, but that's got to kill Rick's chances. If I'm Rick Thompson, I'm not too happy about that, because that just gave Cody Gibson probably about a second to maybe about a second and a half or more advantage over that. While all this is happening, though, Lee Campbell, the one and only driver that is yet to come down pit road. Everybody has come down onto pit road with the exception of Lee Campbell in the 60 truck. Second through, well, call it 30th, is good on fuel, is good on tires. Lee Campbell, the one driver who is yet to come down onto pit road, and he's going to stay out yet another lap. And we'll take a look at the lap time between Lee Campbell and Cody Gibson, and you can just see the speed differences between Cody Gibson and Lee Campbell. Now, you can hear Lee shutting the truck off. But at about half a second a lap or more, with 12 laps to go, he's got a 7-second gap between him and second place Cody Gibson. What is the time across the board this time show? That was only half a second. He's got a 6.5 second lead with 11 laps remaining. And you can hear the truck shutting off for Lee. We're going to see a fuel game here for the 60 truck. If Lee can manage about a half a second a lap that he loses to Cody Gibson, he might be okay here. Take a look at lap number 150 as Lee comes across. Current race leader. See what the time difference is. It's the engine still shuts off, so we're still seeing Lee Campbell having to save fuel. That time was only 0.3 of a second. It's getting better. I mean, obviously Cody Gibson is still closing in a little bit, but it's getting better for the difference between Lee Campbell and Cody Gibson. Now the question is, how much fuel does Lee Campbell have? Last time on pit road for Lee Campbell was lap number 112. We said that they get somewhere between 42 and 45 laps in the pre-race out here tonight. 112 plus, let's go on the high side of that. That's 157. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot for Mr. Campbell to try to save. But he is he's keeping the deficit to a manageable number here. If he can stay somewhere between 3 and 4 and 0.5 of a second, that's probably what he needs to do. That time by was a little bit higher than I think he would have liked to have been with that 0.6 of a second there. But this time by, Lee Campbell's going to see 7 laps remaining. You take a look at the last lap times. Now up on the timing and scoring charts up here, 32.64 for Lee Campbell, 31.51 for Cody Gibson, 31.24, fastest car on the track, Rick Thompson and Greg Mitchell right there. That time by, Lee lost a little bit more than I think he would have liked to. We may be seeing more of an issue for the 60 truck here. At this point, at this rate, Cody Gibson's going to catch him. Going to be a high 5 over the speedway this time by for Lee Campbell. Driver looking for his first career win in the Cyber Thunder Racing League. Could it be tonight in the Hot Chicken Hustle? Driver coming out of his rookie season, beginning his sophomore season here in the Cyber Thunder Racing League, has started to pick up the pace a little bit. He's managing the gap between him and Cody Gibson here, only losing about 0.3, maybe 0.2 of a second now. It's going to be close. I don't know if Lee can make this. It's going to be close. As I thought maybe he was coming onto pit road right there, but no, it was just him playing with the throttle here. 4 laps to go. 3 seconds is the gap between first and second place. Once again, only a 1/4 of a second here. I don't think that's going to be, if Lee has enough fuel, that's not going to be enough for Cody to get there with just 3 laps remaining. This one is going to be a close one, because if Cody Gibson gets there, Rick Thompson is right there to pounce. All right, this time by, we've got 3 laps remaining from Nashville Superspeedway. We are at the upper threshold of what we think Lee can run without any sort of saving. He was 3 laps short. That time by, he lost about a half a second. He can't lose another half a second here. He needs to stay within about a 1/4 of a second to 0.3 of a second. He needs to stay within that 1/4 to 0.3 of a second here But Lee Campbell sees the popsicle sticks over the speedway, this time by from Nashville. What does the timing show? Lap number 158, under 0.2 of a second. That is what Lee wants to see. Lee wants to see anything under 0.3 of a second here, as we know he is battling. But you see Cody Gibson back up there, not far behind, ready to pounce, as we're going to see the white flag here in just a moment. Lee Campbell sees the white flag from Nashville Superspeedway. And don't look now, but you got Cody Gibson just a second behind. Rick Thompson right up on him. Almost contact between those two drivers. Lee Campbell loves to see it in front of him as he comes out of turn number 2. White flag here, 1 lap to go. Another half a mile for Lee Campbell. Does he have enough fuel to get there? Cody Gibson's not going to get there on speed. Will he get there on time? Lee Campbell might be out of fuel coming out of turn number 4. Oh, and Lee Campbell is out of fuel at the start-finish line. Cody Gibson gonna take the race win, 500 feet short of the start-finish line. What an absolute heartbreaker for Lee Campbell, who comes home 4th. Oh my goodness, what an absolute heartbreaker for Lee Campbell. Came up oh so close, 1 corner shy almost of his first career win. But Cody Gibson takes career win number 2 at Nashville Superspeedway. I tell you what, I think I need to calm myself down. That was a phenomenal finish. We're going to gather up your top 3 here from Nashville, and we'll be back in just a few minutes with your podium finishers. Back here, 3rd place finishing position out here tonight. Through all the chaos and all the excitement happening with fuel strategy and everything else that was going on, Greg Mitchell comes home with I don't want to say a quiet 3rd place, but Greg Mitchell comes home in 3rd place. Greg, how was your race?
Yeah, I felt like it took me forever to get up there. I was trying to be patient most of the night, and track position was just so important. I mean, you get to be within about 0.3 of a truck, and you couldn't really get a good enough run unless they slipped a little. So it took me a while to get up there. Once I did, I was just trying to save as much as I could to get to Cody, and then he pitted a little before me, and I didn't even know he was out there until I got around Arie and then looked up, and him and Rick were up there on 2 tires. So that didn't even see that coming, but really, really good strategy on their part. They had just enough rubber to outlast me.
Well, we saw you battling all night long. We were talking about the challenges of Nashville Superspeedway in our pre-race show out here tonight, and the concrete and how much it eats up the tires. Did you experience any of that tonight as you were trying to come through? And how was your tire wear throughout the course of the race? And did you think that maybe a 2-tire strategy like Rick and Cody might have actually worked?
I actually didn't. I never even crossed my mind. I felt like there was such a big difference in in tires from 1 or 2 laps. I mean, I think I had 1 or 2 laps on Cody, and on Arie, sorry, and there was a big difference. And then, yeah, Cody and Rick were definitely slower there at the end, but they had a big enough lead. I think they were 5 seconds ahead of me, or even more, once I got around Arie. But no, really good strategy. It honestly never crossed my mind. I didn't think it'd be fast enough, but kudos to them.
Well, you're coming home finishing with the podium finish out here tonight. You came in as the points leader, so hard to be disappointed with the podium finish out here tonight, Greg. We're going to open up the floor for you. Anybody you want to thank, say hello to back home in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, well, first off, congrats to Cody on his first win of the season. That's 2 of the last 4 for him, I think. So nice job to him, and really good run for Rick. It was fun racing those guys tonight. And thank you to Gary for the sponsorship. Thanks to you guys for calling the shots up there in the booth. And Arie, it was good racing you again. It's good to have you out here.
Yeah, I tell you what, if I can add real quick, at one point halfway through the race, I was telling Philip and Amanda and Corey, I was like, these guys don't get to battle me anymore, and I can feel it because I got around everybody out there, and every last person I was around just fought tooth and nail and just gave me the hardest time. It was great.
Well, that's better than some of them letting you go. So I'm glad they were battling you a little bit.
All right, well, we're going to kick Greg out of here, let you go debrief with a solid top 3 finish out here tonight. Greg, excellent run out here, 3rd race of the season. We'll see you next week at New Hampshire, the Magic Mile.
All right, thanks, Tom.
All right, and yeah, I guess the cat's out of the bag. Arie couldn't get a night off from the broadcast booth, so we've got Arie Heinzman up here to close out tonight's race. We're going to pull in 2nd place from tonight's race, Mr. Rick Thompson. Rick, Tom, and Arie up here. How are you tonight?
I'd be better if I was P1 instead of P2.
Yeah, I bet. I tell you what, Rick, we spoke maybe around lap 100 or so, and I said biggest mover of the night. You came up 23 spots, 1 spot short. You came so close behind Cody Gibson there, just half a tenth behind Cody Gibson at the line for the win. What I guess just bring us through those last couple of laps, because we couldn't keep up here.
Yeah, I mean, we came up on I think it was the 48. He was going a lap down or slower traffic or something, and I saw Cody had a little bit of struggle get around him on the outside, and so I kind of followed him on the outside, and the 48 washed up in the middle of 1 and 2, I think, and got me a little sideways, and at that point I was already catching Cody. I think I was almost like a half a second back from him right then, and he got another 2.5 second lead gap on me after that. So the rest of the time I was just trying to make up the time on him. I knew Lee was going to be really close on gas. I had a feeling he was going to run out on the last lap, so I knew it was pretty much between me and the 1. And he was getting closer and closer and closer as the laps were going down, and I thought, man, there might just be a chance I might get this monkey off my back and get my first win in here in Cyber Thunder, and it just wasn't meant to be, I guess, tonight. But I'm real happy with the run, real happy with my speed. Felt really good tonight. Happy I beat Arie. She's tough to beat here always.
I know that was a whole lot of everybody was saying Arie Heinzman coming out of the booth for tonight's race to an undefeated track for the 28 machine. But Rick, what a phenomenal race you ran. My hat is off to you. We're going to open up the floor for you. Anybody you want to thank, say hello to. Back home, allowing you to race out here tonight from Nashville Superspeedway.
Yeah, I want to thank my wife for allowing me to take some time away from her to come out and do this. I really have fun doing it, and she lets me pursue this dream. And I really want to thank her. First of all, thank my dad. He was racing with me tonight and helping me out, calling out stuff and talking to me through stuff. So thanks to him. Thanks to you for doing a solo job tonight. I know that's not easy, so I'm sure you had your hands full up there, but I know you did probably a great job. I'm sure I'll watch it back. And yeah, thanks to the league, everything, the sponsors, everybody that makes it happen. You know,
well,
thank you guys.
I tell you what, Rick, they gave me a new toy and said, "Go do a broadcast out here tonight." They gave me a little telestrator thing that I can like circle things on the broadcast. I can circle your spoiler. Whatever. I'm drawing all over your truck right now. But thank you for those kind words, and so close on a second place finish out here tonight. Great run for driver 76. And well, what do you say we spice things up a little bit, Arie? What do you say? What do you say you make your way down into victory lane and chat with our big winner out here tonight?
Oh, if looks like we had him and then we lost him for a second.
There we go.
There we go.
He's not leaving us.
No, I have ran my way all the way to the booth. You should see how much I'm sweating after that run. Anyway, we got Cody Gibson, driver of the number 1, picking up win number 1 of the season in the first race that you've made this season. And to top it all off, you got yourself a $15 bounty for beating me tonight. So how are you feeling after that?
Man, that was a workout. And honestly, when you pitted, I was like, I got a chance.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that you two had taken 2 tires out front until after the pits had cycled out, and I was like, I aced that pit stop. There's no way. And so the 2 tires, at that point I was feeling pretty desperate, and then Greg came up and I fought for my life, and Greg got by. So I had a good seat to the show. You had to chase down Lee, who was saving fuel in the closing laps, and you had to hold off a hard charging Rick and an even harder charging Greg behind you. Walk us through that balance and having to manage all of those different aspects as the race is coming to a close.
Well, I think when it all cycled through, Rick wound up being, I think, a second, and I think 1.8 behind me. And I was like, man, I hope he took 2 tires. And at the race, of course, he did. But he still wound up catching me. And then I seen the 48. I had a hard time getting around the 48 myself. I had to do like some, getting in the corner and hope he would go into where he went, and he kind of didn't, so I had to yank my wheel to the right. But I seen the 48 getting into Rick, and I was like, okay, that's biding me some time. And Rick still wound up catching me. Then I was like, I got to catch Lee. He must be saving gas. And poor Lee ran out right before the finish line. That sucks.
Yeah, absolute heartbreak for driver 60 Lee Campbell, but with every heartbreak, there is somebody who comes out on top. And at the end of the day, had no fuel come into play, you were looking like the truck to beat towards the end there. So I'm going to open up the floor to you, Cody. Real quick, give me some thoughts on next week's event. I actually don't know where we're at next week. I'm a bad broadcaster, but New Hampshire. Okay, that's an interesting one because Tom does not like New Hampshire. It doesn't show up at Cyber very often at all. For as long as I've raced here, New Hampshire hasn't been on the schedule once, so that tells you anything. How do you feel about that?
I do not run a lot at New Hampshire, but usually when I'm there, I'm usually top 10, but I don't know. I want to try to do some practice on the days I have to go to work, well, before I go to work, because I got to go to work right now, and hopefully they'll say nothing.
All right, well, real quick then, if you got to go, I'll open up the floor. Any shout outs, thank yous, all of that on a job well done?
Oh, you two up in the booth coming on this season. I watched last 2 broadcasts of the cast, and they've been awesome. And of course, the guys that work 5 Kings, my teammates, because I'm running with them now this year. They picked me up, so got some good strategy over there. So let's keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, Tanner had offered 15 to me if I won and beat the bounty, so you just saved your team owner $15 there, so a little bonus points. But good job again, Cody, on a job well done. Win number 2, and technically that's 2 in a row for driver.
Thanks, guys.
All right, well, Arie, this is kind of atypical as to what we do out here tonight, or on the Cyber Thunder broadcast. On the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network, but Arie, you're my co-host, you're my friend up here on every Tuesday and Wednesday night. So you come home in 5th place out here tonight. Any closing thoughts on one of your 2 races that you're going to run in the Cyber Thunder Racing League Tuesday night series this season?
Yeah, I need to play more safe strategies, and I need to stop, swinging for the fences tonight. And this isn't the first time, but tonight, I just had gotten challenged for the lead for really the first time by Cody Gibson, and caution came out when we were side by side. He got the lead, and we were in a weird spot. I figured, you know what the heck, let me come down on pit road, let me make this a little more interesting, and if it had gone green, I think it would have worked out really well. But being up there at the front on a track that's this hard to pass at, it was not entirely necessary to give up that track position to swing for that strategy. So I just got to calm down on the strategy front and just kind of let the race play out. I feel like on that final run, I was quick enough. I just had to use up everything to get around people and slowly close that gap to the leaders after restarting back in 12th and then 10th on that final restart. So if I was up there already, I might have had something, but at the end of the day, it was a lot of fun. I love Nashville, and I mentioned it a second ago, but all of the drivers out there just gave me hell. They raced me harder than they've ever raced me before, and that was pretty fun. That was pretty cool, and I got to feel like just how much these guys kind of respect me on track, and it's really cool, and it's just an honor to be able to call these races, but then jump in the car and be a part of the race and come back into the booth and talk about it. So it was great. I had fun.
Well, congratulations on a 5th place finishing position out here tonight. We're going to pull up your race results from tonight's race. I've got that shared up there for you, Arie, but race results out here tonight: Cody Gibson, Rick Thompson, Greg Mitchell is your podium finishers out here in tonight's event. From Nashville Superspeedway, Lee Campbell. My heart breaks for Lee Campbell. What could have been for the driver, the number 60 Full Send Esports truck. Oh, so close, 500 feet short of his first career win here at Cyber Thunder Racing League. But Lee Campbell comes home 4th. Arie Heinzman, my co-pilot up here on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network, comes home in 5th, followed by Gary Bowman, Andrew Caldwell, Matt Semple, Corey Sherman, and Mr. Tanner Marr is the top 10.
Get my glasses on real quick. I didn't have those in the car with me.
Get your spectacles.
Yeah, in 11th, it's Jared Anderson, driver of the 5, who is pushing real hard for his first top 10 in the Cyber Thunder Racing League. But in 12th, it's going to be Ed Jurgen in the 92, followed by Eric Anderson in the 43 and 13th. Chris Mackley in 14th in the 17 truck. We got Leroy Koblenz in 15th, followed by Nathan Dustin in the 47. Brian Dorsey comes home 17th, ahead of Larry Bell in 18th. And rounding out the top 20, going to be Steven Music and Dave Gainforth.
And rounding out our field of 33 drivers out here tonight, Arie, we got Theodore Todorov. A couple of incidents for that driver, the number 25 machine. Really solid drive for Theodore. Some heads-up driving throughout the course of the race tonight. Matthew Hamilton comes home in 22nd place. Dwayne Young, the driver that we saw on Thunderstruck last night, comes home in 23rd, 1 lap down. Mr. Fred Thompson, the driver out of Speed Mafia Motorsports, comes home 24th. Andy Cork, Brad Holmes, Mike Stiverson. Mike Stiverson's bad luck continues. 3 races through this season. Chris Letts, Philip Van Vliet, and Jaden Wicks is the top 30.
Oh, you said you were rounding out the whole field of 33. I see how it is. All right. In 31st, Amanda Sherman in the War Wagon. Amanda had some VR issues. The VR cut out. The battery died halfway through the race, so she had to park it. Followed by Chris Rose in 32nd, and shotgun on the field, Carter Lawson, who also had some issues halfway through the race.
Well, there you have it. 160 laps down. Race number 3 of our season. Down and away, Cody Gibson gets the win. Arie, we're going to be live tomorrow night from the Purgy Diggy Racing League from Gateway. And then Thursday, we're doing our Better Half Dash, which you may or may, I'm sure at some point you will make an appearance in. But we've got a busy week here on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network, and looking forward to spending some time with you tomorrow night and potentially Thursday.
Oh yeah, especially with the Gen 4 series starting up soon as well. While those won't be broadcasted, we'll have a whole lot of racing action going on the weekdays. So looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun. And now I got to count down the days to Kansas. I couldn't go out there and win tonight, so I'm still tied. Still got to go for that record.
All right. Well, from Nashville Superspeedway, I want to thank everybody for checking in here on the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network. If you enjoyed tonight's stream, make sure you click that like button, that subscribe button. Get notified every time we go live here. We're here every Tuesday night from now until the end of our season here on the Cyber Thunder broadcast season. Congratulations once again to race winner Cody Gibson on the big win out here tonight. Career win number 2 from Nashville Superspeedway. We'll see you next week.